Hey bookworms, welcome back to my channel and to another review, and this time I will talk about The Perfect Guests by Emma Rous, a book that I remember keeping as a fun thriller to read for a rainy day. You know, when you need something a bit more lightweight. Now, this book has two timelines, both surrounding the same big manor, Raven Hall. In 1988, our POV character is 14-year-old Beth, an orphan who is taken in by the Everells, the family who lives at Raven Hall. They include Mother Leonora, Father Marcus, and their daughter Nina, who soon becomes Beth's best friend. All seems well until Beth starts noticing just how odd the family is, from their seclusion from the nearest town, to Nina's strange sickness that comes and goes, and to Leonora, who asks Beth for a very strange favor which she claims is just a game. Fast forward 30 years later, our narrator now is Sadie, who is a young failing actress who is invited to play a role of a guest in a murder mystery dinner party at this great old manor called Raven Hall. Sadie takes the job, excited for the opportunity both to get paid and also to try to sleuth her way through the evening. But as the night progresses, she starts feeling that there's something strange that's going on, and maybe all the guests have something in common, something that has to do with the house's mysterious history. Okay, so that was the tongue-twisting summary. Let's get to my opinions about this book. First of all, this is a thriller, not a horror nor a haunted house story, just in case the short synopsis made it look like there may be ghosts in the house. That's not that kind of a story. And as a thriller, it was just okay. There was nothing unique about it, even when the book really tried. It was trying way too hard, basically, to blow you away with amazing reveals that just came out as convoluted, over the top, and trying too hard, basically. I also wasn't too crazy about the characters. I didn't like the structure of a book, which is a personal thing I'll explain in a moment. And the only thing that I liked about it were the setting in an old mysterious house and the fact that there is a murder mystery dinner party. I absolutely love those. I also write them and often play them with my friends. They're a lot of fun. But playing a murder mystery dinner party and reading about one are totally different things. But it did give me an idea to create a murder mystery party where the setting is at a murder mystery party that becomes too real. Note to self. Okay, so let's talk more in details. Things I liked. The setting, the cold case factor, the fact that the mystery continues. I liked Sadie. She was probably the only character that I liked that actually felt like a real person. The general ideas in the book were good. Rous also tried to take an interesting take on both the mental health trope that was done to death and generational trauma. I wonder if that's true to reality though. As you can see, I liked many general things in this book, but the specific details of it ruined them for me. Also, I feel like the book had way too many things going on in it that were each pulling in different direction, and as a result, you couldn't really shed any light of any on them because all of these themes were fighting for the spotlight. And since I already slid into negatives, let's continue. So the book felt a little like a hot mess in terms of plot lines, elements, as if the author had millions of ideas and couldn't focus on a single one, or even just a couple. Another thing that I really didn't like, and in my opinion exacerbated this, was the double narration. In the 80s we have Beth's POV, and in the present we have Sadie's, and as much as that would make sense to have two narrators for two timelines, this is something that I personally really dislike in books. The narrative just keeps jumping around in timelines and in narrations, and it felt like a cheap trick to keep the readers interesting. They will just cut to a different timeline in cliffhangers. And to make it worse, there is a point at the end where the two timelines actually meet, and the book continues to jump around from one narrator to another, even though it's basically the same scene. It was so unnecessary. It would be then of no surprise when I say that at the end, when we realize exactly who done what and why, It was ridiculous and convoluted, one of those cases where when you look back and put things in the right context, knowing what the plan was, it makes very little sense and could have never worked in real life, because in order for this plan to work, the bad guys should have planned exactly every little thing and detail, including how different people will react and think. Also, the epilogue is so long. It's about 40 pages long. Although at the very end, at the very last page, there is another twist, so you have to read all of it. So even though I have more to say, I will finish here. I've read good thrillers and bad thrillers. I've read fun thrillers that weren't very deep but made sense. And then there were the thrillers that completely pissed me off. This book didn't get me very angry, but it was probably because I didn't hear so many people praising it for how amazing it is. It was somewhat interesting and it was very entertaining, but it was definitely not one of the better lightweight thrillers I've read. If you need something to pass the time and you like old houses and crazy family setting, go for it. But don't expect anything too brilliant. And that was my review on The Perfect Guests. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any other bookish video that I upload. Also, leave me a comment below and tell me what you thought of The Perfect Guests, if you've read it or anything else by the same author. Guys, thanks again for watching, and now I'll see you next time. Bye bye.